Hello, and welcome to the Borealis experience. I'm your host, Aurora, life coach and companion here on this beautiful journey called life. I hope you're doing well. I hope you feel safe and good in your skin. I hope you feel hopeful. I hope you feel creative. I hope you feel loved. Isn't that what it's all about? And if you don't feel that way at the moment, don't beat yourself up. And I hope that with my episode, I can uplift your mood, I can give you inspiration, I can make you feel less weird and alone, and I can help you, feel better in the future. First of all, I want to apologize deeply. Oh my God. I forgot to post my episode yesterday. For some reason, I was on my old schedule of uploading and first recording my episode on Fridays, and then it was 7 p.m. in the evening. And some of you know that I don't have Wi-Fi or a telephone where I live in my little house. And I realized I did not produce an episode for you yesterday. So I knew at that point that it's too late. It's the point of no return. And I just have to face it that I messed up. So I deeply apologize to you for not uploading an episode yesterday. And I made sure that today I aligned everything so that I can upload it as soon as possible, so one day later. And what I realized last night when I knew, okay, there's no turning back, it's done, mistake is made, I forgot that back in my days where I felt really unstable, I would have beaten myself up to the point that I would have had a sleepless night. I would have felt so much shame, so much regret that from an outside perspective, you would just think, oh my God, that's pathetic. I mean, that's not a big deal. Yet you totally beat yourself up and you lose sleep over it and you become grumpy and nasty with the people around you because you feel so much guilt and shame. But yet that was my experience. And you maybe know from your experience that sometimes you beat yourself up and the people around you don't really get it. Or they make it even worse and make you feel even worse. But some people might totally not be able to relate to your pain in that moment. And this is when you have to learn to kind of rein the demon in and to talk sense to yourself and to, instead of focusing on what you messed up, what you did, maybe you hurt another person even, maybe you let other people down, you disappointed. So not only you were involved in the mistake, but other people around you. But do you really serve other people that you disappointed by beating yourself up? And what I've learned in recent years is that no, it doesn't help the other person who feels hurt or disappointed if you or me, in this case, am beating myself up. Yes, a genuine apology, an apology from the heart, showing regret. That's totally appropriate. But everything that comes after that is self-punishment. And people take it to the nth degree. People accumulate so much pain, suffering, shame, guilt, that they become sick from that they totally withdraw from society. And all because they made one mistake. And again, if you are in a situation, you might feel that shame, that resentment towards yourself, and you might think it's a huge deal. And for other people, it might be very difficult to see your pain or to understand your pain. They see your pain, but they don't see like for how long you carry that pain inside of yourself. So I want to help you today in releasing that pain and letting that pain go. And it doesn't matter what it is. Like some people more than other really cling to the past and cling to mistakes where if you were to talk to the person who was disappointed at you back then, most of the time they would think and say, what? Like that's something that, yeah, it was annoying at that time, but that's over now. Like I don't even think about this anymore. And you're still carrying pain around because of that mistake that you made decades ago? Yeah. Some people are really built that way. They're so sensitive. They're so worried to upset people. And they're not forgiving with themselves because they feel that forgiving mistakes that they've made in the past would mean that it makes the mistake okay. And isn't that such bullshit? To suffer longer because you don't want to make the mistake feel okay. That's such a waste of energy and time and feeling resourceful and creative and loving. You really shut your heart out and down to other people by punishing yourself in that manner. And I talk that assertively right now because this is who I was. This is who I still am to some degree. I don't forgive myself mistakes that I've made. And I'm still in the process of learning that, okay, it's in the past and in the future I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to encounter a similar situation for sure in the future because this is how the universe functions, because it wants to test you in a good way. And I'm going to react differently, respond differently. And this is where I was able to create a shift in my mind. And this is what I want to share with you because all I want to achieve with my podcast here, with my stuff on Facebook and Instagram, is to reduce the suffering, especially the self-induced suffering in people. I want people to feel light and loved and good about themselves. And yes, we make mistakes. And yes, you can feel shitty about some mistakes that you've made. But then you also have to move on and focus on the present and know that by doing that, you will positively influence the future. You make a mistake, you beat yourself up, but then please know that you have to get yourself out of that dynamic as soon as possible and focus on what is it that I want to do differently next time. why did I make this mistake? And not ponder too long and overanalyze too much, overthink too much. Like, don't focus on what you don't want in the future, also in the present, but focus on what you want. Next time, I want to respond in a calm way. Next time, I want to take a couple breaths before I react. Next time, I'm going to ask questions to clarify before I make assumptions. Next time, I'm not going to multitask. I'm going to focus on one task at a time and be really focused. This kind of assertive but uplifting talk will help you to pull yourself out of that weird funk of beating yourself up. Because, another phenomenon that happens when we beat ourselves up, we're kind of stuck inside of ourselves. We're stuck with our mind. We're stuck with, trying to change, trying to influence. And all along, we forget about the people around us that either have nothing to do with the incidents or everything to do with the incidents. And we get so caught up with our mind that we forget to ask, hey, what's going on your side of the game? How are you processing this? Can we move on from this? Sometimes we beat ourselves up and don't really realize that we're becoming a hermit. We don't want to engage with people as much anymore because we still cling on to that past pain, that past mistakes that we've made. We feel so much shame and we don't trust ourselves. We don't want to go out there again and have other people trust us and then know that we are very, very capable to hurt people, to disappoint people, to let people down. And it is that self-trust that I want to build in you, because you're so endlessly precious. You're so endlessly worthy. And the people around you need you in your most authentic and loving way. And it is okay to be a little bit different. We're all different. And in embracing difference, we help people to feel okay with their difference as well. But in shutting down and beating ourselves up, we create walls. We keep energy stuck inside of ourselves. That energy needs to be flowing and needs to get out. We need to trust again. We need to connect again. We need to talk about our pain with the intention to move on. To know that, yes, this is the pain that I was carrying for so long and I want to let it go now. I want Mother Earth to swallow it down, to suck it up and to process it and to turn beautiful flowers or whatever creation she decides to do with our mess. I hope I'm not getting too spiritual here, but you get my point. You get my point. There's no way that you can live a happy, content life if you're still beating yourself up for past mistakes. Let go of it. Forgive yourself. Know that you are most of the time forgiven. But most importantly, you have to forgive yourself. And know that you are inherently good. And know that you have all the resources, all the tools to be a decent person out there. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. And again, I apologize for not posting yesterday. It was not a bad intention. I deeply care about you. And if I'm able to bring you value, then I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to receive feedback, honest feedback, and to know what I can get better at, what I can change, or if I'm on the right track. Sometimes I record my episodes and you have to imagine it's just me and my recording equipment here. And I come up with a topic that I'm passionate about to share with you. But it's just me sitting here and talking. And I hope, I find the right words. I hope I am of value to you. I'm wishing you a good rest of your day. Take really good care of yourself. And I will be out there on Monday again for you. Bye-bye.